Okay, recording. Okay, super, guys. Awesome. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we're going to have a really, really cool time. For those of you like Keith who did your homework and cut out the square in the shape that I asked you to, it's not the end of the world. You can cut yours out this week, and then what I would like you to do is put a hole through the middle of it. Okay, so this is my one. Okay, with all these lines. Anyway, put a hole in the center. And then you're going to get yourself a split pin. For those of you who don't know what a split pin is, it's a pin that splits. Okay, it's a little doofy like that, and it splits, and you will feed it through the hole, through the hoiki from the back. Okay, so the back will have the dot, and the split pin will be in the front. Okay, so that's how you'll have a split pin. Okay, so you'll get something else to cut out, and we're going to join the two together. So welcome to this session. We're going to have some absolute fun tonight. I am expecting participation, guys. Please, 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 5 times, please. I know Vilma will participate, so there we go. Yee! Well done. Autumn, she's got a makeshift one there. So please either type your answers in the chat box as we go through. If not, then just either put your hand up or just unmute yourself and answer. Okay, because I won't have everybody on at the same time. So, but I'll keep you up and running. So we're going to have some fun with this session. I just need to find it. Where's my arrows? There we go. Some real fun with this session, and really spend some time looking from a different perspective. So welcome to the WTF Back to Basics, and ultimately everything you hold, the light in your life is in your own hands, guys. So whether you like it or not, it's entirely up to you what you have in your hands, and that's what we've got to work out. What do I have in my hands, and how am I going to use it from there? So please don't run away like this little what you call it, skill pikey. What's it? Not a skill pikey, it's a snail. Okay, what's a snail on Afrikaans, George? Skill pikey is the other thing. Okay, so please don't run away. Stick around with us. We're going to have some absolute fun today. I want to really enjoy Slag. Marie Donkey.
Yeah, okay. Escargot.
Yeah, that's like escargot. Okay, so don't run off the plate. Just hang in there for the session, because I want you to hold on to your seats as tight as possible and make sure that you do not run away, and that we can actually stick with the program and see where we're going to go from here. Much like this auntie, hang on for dear life. We're going to have some fun. Put your brace, embrace yourself. We're going to share some things that I'd love to know. Some of the things that you guys are going to share with me. And one of the things we just need to understand here, let's have an agreement that this is a safe place. And I really want you to expect each other's opinions and feelings. We all have different opinions and feelings. And then basically take responsibility for your own personal growth. We're going to have some fun and just enjoy it. But I do want some participation. I'm going to be asking questions and really see where it is that you're going from here. And we're going to really enjoy and have some fun with regards to this. Okay, so everybody happy to not judge one another, and just to make sure that this is a nice, safe place that we can all enjoy. Thanks, Vilma. You're in agreement on behalf of everybody else, because I can see you nodding. I'm sure the others will agree. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Really do appreciate your participation. Thanks, Lana. Great. Natla saying, Nando and Isabella, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Right. Let's get this ball rolling. Okay. So we have discovered scientifically how a man's brain works, and that's the reality of it. Is, thanks Derek and Carla, the reality is that we have discovered how a man's brain works, and it's very, 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 very logically put. All right, George will be in agreement with me here, so will Keith. 1 + 1 is 2. Bottom line, end of story. That's how it works. So very logical. Now, not saying us women aren't logical, but we come up to the answer 2 in a little bit more different way. Something like this. So Vilma, this is what happens to us in the morning. Yvette, this is what goes on at night. We're those ones that all of a sudden, or 11, you're right, Keith. We're one of those that all of a sudden we'll go to the to the bathroom in the middle of the night. We come back and we lie down, and all of a sudden we'll think, I wonder where I put my passport. You know, it's like, oh, I wonder where I put that. That was something that you're not even looking for. Okay, had no idea you even needed to know that you're looking for it. Okay, Derek, you got it. And that's the reality. Is that's exactly how we function. And it's like, oh my goodness, I was wondering, where did they put that? Okay, that's what my day looks like every day. Whenever I can get it right now, I'm pretty sure Ryan feels very female right now, with everything that's going on. But it is, the research shows that the female brain just functions a little bit better. Like the men, it's one box at a time. Us women, our lives are like spaghetti. Everything is joined together. Okay, so if somebody says to you, so what time of the day it is, us women, a man will answer, it is this time. Whereas a woman will say, gosh, you know what, it's 2:20 right now. And you know what, I actually realized that tonight I need to cook this for dinner, and I'm actually going to buy my kids some school shoes. Everything is connected and intertwined together. And this is the reality when we actually are in actual fact sharing information with each other. We need to understand that. Okay, I agree, Derek, it's 100%. That's the reason why you can't fix us. It's just impossible to spend some time trying to fix us. It's like, it's not even worth the hassle that you've got to go through to try and work out what it is that we're doing or saying, and going through all of that, because everything is mixed and tied and connected together. So there you go. My husband keeps my dishes clean in my house all the time, because he knows I can't function anywhere in my house if I've got dirty dishes. Okay, so everything's connected as we go through life. So that's the reality of it. But because of this, I want us to think a little bit deeper, and I'm going to ask you now to figure out for yourself, which of these animals do you relate to right now? So I'm going to let them all come up on the screen, but I'd love you to just connect and say to me, I want you to type into the chat box, nothing to fix or working. Yeah, working strong. I agree with you. So if you had to, I know there's lots of other animals you could choose, but just
What the animal do I relate to?
Yeah, which one do you relate to?
Op hierdie oomblik.
Right now. Francis and
dinosaur.
Vilma, I said you have to choose the one that's here. Okay. Wow, quite a few say donkey. Interesting, hey? Interesting, hey? Yeah, but at the end of the day, Carla's lion, Derek is cat, eagle for Keith, giraffe, nice. That's a nice one. Janine, donkey, Lana, Pam, donkey, Isabel, frog, and me, a cat. All the wealth coming through.
Elephant.
Elephant.
My favorite animal.
Flying fish. Love it. Is there a flying fish, Juanita? Oh, there it is too. Yes, there it is there. Awesome. Rhinoceros, Florentia, and ant for Ulrich. Shark. Nice. I'm flying all over the place. Exactly. Dove for Costa, I can see that. Yvette, lion, nice one, Yvette. Okay. So guys, the reason why I'm asking you this is, why have you chosen that? Because obviously you had no clue. I was just saying, right now, why do you feel like that? So Juanita says, flying all over the place. I'm bouncing off the walls. Frog, I'm bouncing off the walls. Kitty, giraffe, flying fish in a cider. With George, a lemon flying fish. So thank you. I really do appreciate all of your answers here, and I really am missing my second screen. Strategic moments, stampede mode, too tall to see the smaller things in life. Very nice, Janine. That very nicely put there. I like that as well. Strategic moments, because sometimes we don't actually, I feel a bit stubborn at this time, Lana. Okay, nice one. I was thinking maybe somebody might have said donkey because of feeling that bit stubborn. Okay, thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. Anybody else like to share, Kitty? Why do you say giraffe? Let's see, Yvette, lion, Costa, shark, Roy, shark. Okay, is it because you're from KwaZulu-Natal? Stress levels, Fernando, nice. Okay, nice one. And it's important for us to sometimes Happy guy. Oh, he does look like a happy guy. Hey? Okay. Nobody chose the dog running around. That's interesting. Let's see. I'm glad. Let's just find my chat box again. I lost it there. At peace. Nice. Patience, wisdom, strength. Absolutely. So the reason why I've asked you to just have a look at this is simply from that perspective. Which animal or insect describes your life right now? Do you know, very few of us actually spend time deciding right now, how am I feeling? And want to fly like an eagle in more ways than one, not just been flying. Elegant, beautiful eyes, nice. Eagle, because other eagles are calling beyond the clouds to the skies are no limit. Nice, Gloria. Giraffe, trying to see what's coming. Donkey, feeling a bit of an ass. Pam, you don't have to feel an ass. Want to bite my staff. Shark. I can believe that. Lion, because the pride is not working together at the moment and our hunting success rate is dropping off the charts. Very interesting. Nicely put. Owl, want all the information and checking things out, or the ant, trying to get everything ready for the winter before it comes. That's an interesting one. Okay, all your ducks in a row. Yep, trying to make sure that everything is flowing and everything is in a row. And it's frustrating if it isn't getting itself together like that, isn't it? So let's just see who must unmute here quickly. Cool. Okay, great. So guys, it's the reason why I'm asking you this is because it's given you for the first time in our rushed, busy lives that actually stops to say to ourselves, hold on a second, where am I and what am I looking at? And how am I actually really feeling? So think about this over the next day or two and just really say to yourself, why am I just, is there something that I can do to move myself from where I'm feeling now to a better place? Okay. If there isn't, it's time to sort of think and just reanalyze for yourselves what it is that, we need to be looking at. So for me, I really honestly also feel like that. I feel like that puppy that's just running and the owl simultaneously. It's because I just, Sylvia, dinosaur, just feeling old. Sylvia. So yeah, so for me it's the owl and the puppy. I'm very excited where Element is going right now. I'm extremely positive about it, and then just need the wisdom just to make sure that we get the right information out, and trying to, I just feel that we need to just get the wisdom that one needs in order to get all of that done. So it is important for us to say, okay, let's reflect. And how many times have we spoken about spend some time reflecting? So let's get the brain to work a little bit here late at night. Okay. How many faces, you probably have done this before, but how many faces can you see? Okay, how many faces can you see? Either type in, let's get my chat box back.
9.
Okay, we've got a 9 out there.
Just saw the 10th one.
Yeah. Okay.
Twelve, final answer.
10 for Rentia. Okay. Whoopsie, 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 whoopsie. Okay, so how many faces can we see? And inside the box, inside the actual picture, yeah, you're right. There's 12. Okay. 10 is the correct answer. There are 10 faces legitimate faces there, and between the trees and things like that, we could create other faces. But you're right, 10 is 100% correct. So if you were sitting in front of your computer right now, how many of you can see your own reflection? Okay, so Juanita, you can. So you could have added 11 faces. Thinking outside of the box. Natla Singh could have done 7 another face. Okay, Lana can't see her own, so 10 would have been the right answer. So
all the ones in the frames.
Yeah, so all the ones in the frames you can see, okay, which is 10. And I asked you the question, how many faces could you see? And isn't it amazing how very few of us, if any of us, okay, go beyond what we can see. So for example, I can see my reflection in my computer. So if I had to say, I can see 10 faces in the box plus myself is 11. Okay, Kitty, yeah, you wouldn't get it on your phone. So for those of you, all right, so Fran and Olive can't see their own. And so it's interesting to see that sometimes we need to start opening our minds to saying, hold on a second, is there anything beyond saw you as a presenter as well? Absolutely, George, 100%. So you could add that as well, because how many faces can you see? And so if you can see my face, okay, brilliant. If you can see, I can also see you, Vilma, and other people. Exactly, Juanita. George, Juanita, it's exactly the truth. It's like, how many faces can I see? And yet we put our minds automatically into a zone that just hones in on one place. And sometimes we do that in and around our own lives. And so we stagnate our own creativity because we're so focused on the simple instruction that was given to us, as opposed to how many faces I can see. So if you wanted to go and like right now, I could say there's 10 plus I can see 4 people on my screen, because I can see Yvette's photograph, I can see Rentia and Ulrich's photographs and their 2 kids, I'm sorry, and their child. Plus I can see Vilma. So the question I didn't ask you how many faces can you see in the square. I asked you how many faces you could see. So we need to have that art of listening needs to be tapped in a little bit higher than what we are, and also tap into our own creativity. So it's also the same as me saying, how many of you can sing? Okay. So if I asked how many of you can sing, some of you are going to say, no, you can't sing. But I never asked the question, how many of you can sing well? And so if I'd said, how many of you I can sing well, the well at the end will eliminate those that can't sing well. But if I ask the question, how many of you can sing? We all can sing. It's just our grade of singing that will vary. So some of us, like, don't ask me to sing. I'm as tone deaf as they come. All right. I cannot sing, hold a tune, or know nothing like that. Okay. So I don't even sing in the shower, because I'm pretty sure the water will just go back up the pipe. Okay. So it's really, 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 so we need to listen well with what the people are saying to us. And this is the habit we need to tap into when we're actually listening to our prospects. What did they actually answer? Or are we immediately going into a mode where we want to answer because we want to get the information right? Because that's how most of us answered this particular one, because it was a competition that was put out there. So most of us went straight into, let me solve this as opposed to, let me see how many faces I can see. So we need to step into a situation where we need to perhaps start looking at saying, hold on a second, where am I really in actually listening? Because excellence never happens by chance. It's always the result of hard work, purposeful planning, and the ability to see stumbling blocks as opportunities. So each one of us, if we want to raise our game and we want to go to the next level and we want to up it, what we need to start saying is, what is excellence? Now, I'm not talking about excellent, Because if you go and have a look at the word excellent and excellence, they have two separate meanings. All of us can strive for excellence. It doesn't necessarily mean that we all will be excellent, okay? So we want to strive for that space of excellence within what we have. So there's a big difference between excellence and then maybe thinking that we can be excellent. And the problem with today's world, we have a crisis of averageness. And this crisis of averageness is eating into our country. It's eating into our children. And we need to say to ourselves, how can I go beyond average? What do I need to do today to wake up and be that person that's going to actually go beyond average? So we're not looking for perfectionism. We're looking for excellence. Because, Vilma, you will love this statement. Perfection is of the flesh, but excellence is from God. So, which means that excellence just means I raise my bar to be in a place that's more excellent. Okay. So we need to just, and they have two different meanings if you go and have a look at them. Okay. They're fleshing out of those two different meanings. So we're not looking for perfectionism in us. We just need to know, am I going to up my game today to beyond average? So John Maxwell always says that we should never work on our weaknesses. We should always work on our strengths. Because the more time we spend on our weaknesses, so let's say, for example, my weakness out of a scale of 1 to 10, 5 is average, okay, and I have a weakness, and my weakness is a 2, all right, and I spend hours and hours on a 2. In my ability on that particular weakness, I might get it from a 2 to a 3. But if I go and now take my strengths and I work on my strengths, and let's say I have a strength that's sitting at a 7, I can always take it to an 8. And when I excel in my strengths will naturally increase my weaknesses. So we spend too much time, we are better today than we were yesterday, but tomorrow we will be even. You know what? That's provided we do something about it. Provided we actually do something about it, because if we don't do anything about it, we're the same and we're going to stagnate. So what am I doing? And so I need to go and say to myself, what am I good at? What are my strengths? Work on my strengths, because as I work on my strengths, so my weaknesses will naturally increase. But if I spend too much time on my weaknesses, what happens is I don't excel in my strengths, and I cause frustration. I get frustrated, and this is what we're doing to children in the school environment. We'll, they excel in mathematics, but they're not so good at English. So what we do is we send them for tons and tons of English lessons, and we forget about math. So as they get older and older and move into higher grades of math, the math starts coming down as well, because they start losing interest in school because we're tapping into the wrong energy. And it's exactly the same as the story of asking everybody to come to climb a post. You ask a frog to climb, a fish to climb, a lion to climb, a cat to climb. You ask all of them to climb the post. Only the bird's going to get to the top, and maybe the cat will get to the top. The fish isn't going to get there. But we're giving the same tasks to people all the time, and that way we will never get to excellence. And this is where it's too true. Yeah, it's how the school system works with our children, and it's what happened to you and me. And so therefore we're too scared to go work on our strengths, because when somebody works on their strengths, the natural reaction is you're vain. Okay, you think too much of yourself. Who do you think you are? And it's not that at all. The reason and the purpose I go work on my strengths is so that I become a better person. When I become a better person, I step into my excellence. When I step into my excellence, my lower weaknesses start increasing up to average, as opposed to the other way around. And that's why we need to have hard work, purposeful planning. And then we've got to go and see, what is it that I'm using as my opportunities to move to the next level? And if we can work in that space, it doesn't matter where we are and what we're looking at. We know that we'll always increase ourselves up into the next level. So that's what this primarily we're going to be looking at over the next few weeks, is how do we tap into that excellence? Where is it that I need to work? And that's why this thing is very important, because this is going to tell some stories. Okay, this is going to tell us some real amazing stories as we go through it. I'll show you how to work it all out. So with having said that, and having to be deliberate about this, we need to understand that if we know what our life purpose is, plus excellence, that starts giving you and me significance. Okay, we can't be excellent at something and not attach a meaningful attachment to it, because then it's not significance. Having said that, aimlessness and mediocrity is meaningless. And we're seeing it with a lot of people around us at the moment. They're running around aimlessly. Hallelujah, I have lights. Okay, I won't put anything off just yet. I shall keep it on in case Telecom says something else to me. But aimlessness and mediocrity equals meaninglessness. Now, meaninglessness and mediocrity equals aimlessness. And do you not agree that we see so many people who are going out there, they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know where they belong. They don't know what they've got to do. And of course, because they are being aimlessly just roaming around, they have no purpose, which means if I have no purpose, I can't strive for excellence, which means I stay in a space of mediocrity. And we need to make sure that us, starting with ourselves first, that we can get out of that meaningless zone, or that mediocrity zone, or that aimless zone, and put it into becoming, what am I get up for today? How can I make today significant for me? If I can make it significant for me, it will naturally be significant to someone else. So we need charity starts at home. So you've got to look after and nurture what you've got first. When you've looked after yourself, you can then overflow onto others. So it goes to our health, it goes to our wealth, it goes to our kindness, it goes to everything. If I can't be kind to myself, there's no ways I'm going to have the ability to be kind to others. And so that would then mean I'm working in a space of meaninglessness. So we have an average crisis in our country, and we have a below average meaninglessness and aimlessness roaming around at the moment. And what can you and I do when we wake up in the morning to make sure that we impact or touch something of this? And the only way you and I can do that is to know what our life purpose is and strive for doing things so that we create that excellence, so that we have significance. And that's very important for all of us. So anybody want to comment on that? Are you on the same page as me? Everybody happy? All good? I can see Vilma, thumbs up. Okay, so that's what it's about, and that's what we're going to be having a look at. What is my life purpose, and how do I create that? Thank you, Fran. Awesome, and Olive. Okay, so let's continue going through the program. Superb. Okay, let's click this. All right, so we're going to be looking at 3 different areas over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be looking at brilliant self, which I say master yourself, master your relationships, and master your leadership. So that's how we're going to do it. But we need to start with self first. And if we start with self, we can actually work on the program going forward. So that's what we're going to look at tonight, a bit about ourselves. Okay. So in there's 4 pillars to creating excellence and finding the life purpose for significance in and around. So one would be your personal skills, relationship skills, leadership skills, and then of course the other thing which you're already tapping into now, which is your professional abilities and skills, which we won't go into because that's your job and all that kind of thing. And then of course we will then work on the other. So we're going to look at personal skill, relationship skill, and we're going to look at leadership skills. So as we go through that, we will be looking at what controls our lives, our values, our life purpose, self-worth, and priorities in the first with all personal skills. With regards to relationship skills, we will then look at emotional mastery, communication, conflict resolution, okay, and of course assertiveness. And then under leadership skills, we're going to be looking at what is it to be a strategist, how do we role model, how do we build teams, how do we motivate, and how do we empower. So those are what we're going to be looking at over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to make sure that we do them. So my question to us all here is, do you live in a space of excellence? And if not, where is it that you feel that we need to make sure that we are working in that space of excellence, and what does that actually mean to us? Okay, so that's your question you need to answer for yourselves for this next week, is do I live in excellence? And if so, what does that mean? Which means that I need to move into that space of I think I need to focus on the real mathematical equations rather than focus on your strengths. Okay, all right, we won't focus on your weaknesses then, Derek, but maybe we can step up the game a little bit there. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on to this next one. All right, so I've given you your chart, and what we're going to be looking at is the first one we're going to be looking at over the next couple of days. We'll see how far we get in tonight's one. We have got another 20 minutes. We'll be looking at control, values, prioritizing, life purpose, and self-worth over the next couple of days. Excellence should not depend on our circumstances. Absolutely. It is definitely not got nothing to do with our circumstances. It has everything to do with how I cope within my circumstances, and how do I create that space for myself. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be having a look at how certain things impact us. Okay, so one of the things that impacts us quite impactfully, which we don't think about, is in actual fact our thoughts. And so often we underestimate the thought patterns that go behind things. In fact, most of us don't even process this. Most of us don't even think, where did that thought come from? Most of us just keep going on a daily basis, say, do, and behave however we want. And very few of us stop to say, where did that thought come from? And so that's something we need to be perhaps looking at and saying, hold on a second, in order for me to move to the next level, what we need to say to ourselves is, where did that thought come from? Why did that thought happen? Was that thought relative? Because what happens with your thoughts invariably are going to come out in your actions and in your words. So we need to know what it is that we're actually thinking about, and how does it actually work for us. So everybody gets that idea in a shower. Successful people get out of the shower, dry themselves off, and start doing something about it. Unsuccessful people never do that. Okay, choice plays a big part, as I can decide to pursue excellence or stay in mediocrity. 100%. You can either choose to stay there or choose to actually move into the next place. And so, you know, something, I get lots of my ideas in the shower. I'll be very honest with you, a lot of my ideas. And when I read this statement and I did this process, I probably have been teaching this course now, probably 14 years now. Okay. And when I realized this statement, everybody gets ideas in the shower, and I'm telling you now, I get ideas in the shower, that Anthony and I created all he did was he got an A4 piece of paper. He made sure there was a Cokie pen inside the bathroom. He laminated the A4 piece of paper blank, and he literally, I have got it in my shower. So if I come up with an idea, I always write it down. The other place that I've got a pen and paper is always, like you, Vilma, 2 o'clock in the morning, right next to my bed. Okay, right next to me. Have you empowered yourself? Have you empowered yourself to take your ideas and put them down somewhere? And then the next step for doing that is to start putting those ideas into a journal or a book. Just jot them down, so that when you're thinking about what can I do, I think I can actually put my candle off. Okay, no, I can't. What can I do about something? Then you can actually start knowing how to start putting your ideas into practice. And invariably, there's always someone else that can assist you. Always someone that can assist you, can help you through the process and that kind of thing. But too many of us just want to be an island. So please, wherever your space is that you come up with your ideas, have you empowered yourself? Okay. Thank you so much, Marine. I was running out of air there. Okay. Yes, Keith, is to jot them down immediately, because you will forget them. You will forget them. Life happens, things do. The moment someone speaks to you, it's forgotten. So what are you doing to make sure that you are a person who can, in actual fact, take your thoughts, put them into action? Because once you've written them down, you're able then to, even if it's once a week, okay, you might book it down, write it down, put them in a book, because there's times when you can maybe just sit back and relax and go through that book, and you're looking for something, and it might not be the right timing now, or somebody might say something, but make sure that you write it down. Okay, so it is every you can take pictures, put in pictures, make it all for yourself. So the importance of thoughts is very important for us to realize that thoughts influence all aspects of your lives. Our distorted way of thinking will be visible in our way of acting. So this is for everybody. And there's a saying that Anthony and I say all the time. And that saying is, behavior never lies. Behavior never lies. So if I'm starting to be short with people when I speak to people, or if I pass a snide comment or something like that, Anthony, he always says, Michelle, behavior never lies. What's up? What's bothering you? Okay. One of the things, for example, Anthony always puts toothpaste on my toothbrush every single morning. If Anthony is cross with me, I can get to the bathroom, there will be no toothpaste on that toothbrush. Okay. Now, he might have not done it even consciously, but it's because he's either irritated, and then I know something is up. Okay. So, yeah, exactly, Fernando. We can't be kitty cats. If a kitty cat comes out, the nails and the claws, we need to make sure that, behavior never lies. So your thoughts are going to influence all aspects of your life. So if you start working on your thought pattern and start working with how do I think? How do I plan out things? How do I structure things? What will happen is we'll start taking control of all of that. Okay. Yep. I know you do, Claudia's as well. Okay. Truth comes out when buttons are being pressed. Behavior never lies. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I hope you're finding this a little bit, I hope you guys are finding this helpful, and it might be, I don't know who needed it right now, but we need to actually look at this from our, I need to put on toothpaste for my kids, and they will miss it the day you don't, Marine. Okay. Who's in control of your thoughts, guys? Who is in control of your thoughts? John Maxwell wrote a book, Today Matters. Okay. And what we need to understand is that what we think about, okay, will start becoming apparent somewhere in our lives. Okay. And what's interesting is that what you're normally thinking about in your 30s starts realizing in your 50s. So if you want to fast track that natural, difficult to control. I don't know if that was Isabel or Fernando, but who's in control of your thoughts? Are we taking responsibility for our thoughts? Seriously, okay? You need to be conscious and be in the now to learn to control your thoughts. Awareness, awareness, awareness. Awareness will help you take responsibility. And this is where it goes back to, if you know and you understand, what am I thinking and how do my thoughts impact? Because remember, your thoughts are going to impact your behavior. And so we need to be very as Juanita says, conscious, that absolute awareness of what am I thinking? Okay, what am I thinking all the time? When you're interacting with someone, what are your thoughts? Are, you know, in other words, are you in control of your thoughts, or do you let your thoughts wander? Because when you're actually with someone and you're speaking to that person and your thoughts go off in another direction, okay, then you need you need to actually bring those thoughts back again, because those thoughts are not relevant to the existing conversation, more than likely. But if you are in the conversation and you're processing what the person is doing, talking to you from being in front of you, now you're in control of what's happening with you, and your body will show. And I mean, how many times have we been sitting with people and they just bring out their cell phone, and you know that that doesn't matter whether you're in the middle of a conversation or not, they thought about something and moseyed off onto their phones. They say they're listening to you, but they're not. Their actions speak louder than their words. And so what are you controlling? How are you controlling? And do you want to control your thoughts? Okay, do you want to be at that state of awareness, that state of presence, of being absolutely present with yourself? Because when you're present with yourself, when I'm present with myself, we move ourselves to that place of excellence. And so how do we walk, and how do we take responsibility for those kind of things? So we're influenced daily by a whole lot of things. We're influenced daily by a lot of things that work around us, and you know, those around people that we interact with, a whole lot of things. So do we have the ability to take responsibility? Some people are dependent on what other people think. Some people won't even speak because they're waiting for other people, you know, to answer for themselves. Some people, you know, do you decide for yourself? Who's in control of what is happening in your mind? And how do we make sure that we're in control of that? Okay, so, all right. So we all have the ability to think, but what we have a tendency to lack is we have a tendency to lack creative and innovative thinking. So we all have the ability to think, but how many of us are controlling our thinking into what is creative and what is innovative? And do we know how to do that? Because ultimately, behavior never lies. So your hands are going to go and do the work of what you're thinking. Okay, and we use the hands, but it's your actual body. So innovative thinking really means that you're applying your creative thoughts into a pattern. So guys, it's the same as, let's say, for example, right now, and I'm using this because we're all at the brink of change right now with regards to element. And so how do I go and design my life? How do, you know, what goal do I set for myself? I can only set a goal for myself if I'm thinking about the goal that I want to set. If I want to achieve the goal, I need to be creative about how am I going to create, to actually get to that goal. And then, of course, fleshing it out would be the innovative side of it. So we need to understand what is it that we're doing. Okay, so exactly. So it is all about making sure that we're in a place that we have a practical way. So innovation is all about the practical way of doing what we want to do, whereas the creative thinking is about the actual idea itself, about the uniqueness, the creativity side about it. So it's all the out there thinking. We all have the capacity to think. We have to change our old thought patterns, become creative in our thinking, so that we have the implementation, and the implementation would be from being innovative on how we're actually going to go about. And it's important for us to realize that we need to develop plans and actions, and then tap into our innovative thinking. And yeah, it's exactly like that. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. How do I create into that next space? So I love D.L. Moody says, your life is designed according to your thoughts. So, you know, as in everything, your life is designed according to your thoughts. So at the end of the day, what are your thoughts? And exactly your goal is designed by that as well. So if if you don't want to build, let's say, an element business, for example, if you don't want to build an element business, your actions are showing exactly where your thinking is. Okay, so we need to enable our creative thinking. We need to enable a fresh way of thinking, and the only way we can do that is setting time aside, setting a little bit of time aside, thinking of where you could go approach people, who are the people you're going to approach, all those kind of things. Okay. And then, of course, applying your creative thinking, and that's being innovative as we go through there, and then building towards that in excellence. Okay. All right, we've had enough. Thought pattern can break or make you. Absolutely, Keith. Thought pattern can make or break you. Okay, so let's watch this clip.
So we will get that schedule revised and sent right out to you, sir.
That sounds good. Listen, I should be back in the office on Tuesday. I'd like to see an updated P&L.
Very good, sir. Yeah. We're all over it. Not a problem. Take care of that.
That was close. Yeah, it was close.
I can still hear you. I think we're good. Yeah, that should do it. I think we're good.
FedEx, proudly bringing you the FedEx Cup.
Okay, so were those guys creative? I think they were pretty creative in their thought patterns. I think they were like, okay, we've got the boss fooled, and yeah. Okay, so I think they were creative at the end of the day, weren't they? Okay, so all I want us to think about as we wrap up this evening is commit to the creative thoughts, commit to spending some time in your creativeness and in your creative thoughts, because don't underestimate the power of thoughts, guys. And we know this, we actually know this, but the way we think, the way we need to be creative is in actual fact to do something creative. So if you've got kids at home, one of the greatest creative things that can get your juices going before you actually go and set your goal setting goals, or before you actually go take the blinkers off, absolutely, take them off. So if you've got kids at home, what you must do is go and give them the Sunday paper. All right, so you just get the Sunday paper and give them one roll of duct tape, and then you say, do it with them as well, okay? And what you do is you get 2 2-liter cool drinks, you put them to the side, and you say, right, we're going to build a bridge. The only thing that we are allowed is to use the newspaper and the duct tape. We cannot tape anything to anything. It has to be a free-standing bridge that will hold the 2-liter Coke. But you must be able to take at least one, turn the Coke sideways. It must be able to go through and underneath. So it's got to have stream flowing through underneath. Okay, so you're going to build yourself a bridge that the Coke goes underneath, and by the time you finished it, you cannot tape it to anything. You only have newspaper and tape, and you're going to put the 2-liter Coke standing on top. All right, and then, or whatever it is, 2-liter, whatever, and then say to them, do you think we've built this bridge big enough to put the second bottle on? And you see what happens to a child's creativity the moment the game changes to the second bottle. And all of a sudden you will see, and this will happen with everybody that's around you. So the next time we do team building, guys, and next time we can all be together, we'll all be making some bridges. Okay, I want to see you, Tessa. You better start practicing your bridges. But what is interesting is that most of us are creative to a limit. We don't create, as when Vilma said earlier on, outside the box. Okay, all right. It is such an amazing thing. So do it with your kids. If just before you're about to do your goal setting or something, go and do something creative. Okay, because the moment you do an activity that's creative, you are now stimulating your creative thought pattern. When you sit down to do your goal setting, what will happen is you're going to set your goal setting at a completely different level. You're going to up your goal setting from average towards excellence. And so Don't underestimate the power of your thoughts, guys, because your thoughts will limit you all the time. Your brain is set to protect you. It's not set to put you into your comforts, outside of your comfort zones. That is one of the main reasons why most of us do not get out of our comfort zones. We stay in our comfort zones. We block ourselves in our comfort zones. We don't want to move from our comfort zones. And the reason being is simply because we don't know how to function outside in the creativity zone of our lives and make sure that we actually are greater than what we actually are. Okay. All right, let's just see what we got here in the chat box. I don't even have a box, so I have to think outside of it. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is, as we spend some time this week, what I would like you to do is have a look and just see for yourselves, okay? That's your exercise for this week, is to spend some time, and I just want to stop share. I'm just going to find my stop share button. There it is there. Okay, so spend some time this week in looking at where are the areas that I'm being controlled, specifically my thoughts. Where's my space where I actually am my most creative in my thoughts? What am I doing with those thoughts? Am I writing them down? Where am I journaling them? Where am I putting them? And then, of course, spend some time asking yourself, behavior never lies. So when you do something, why did I do it? When you think something, why did I think this? Get yourself into that state of awareness of what I am thinking at what time I am thinking. And be very careful if you're thinking bad thoughts every single time you're around your partner. That's not healthy. Okay, we need to start having positive thoughts when we are around our partners. So next week, when we go into, next week we'll look a little bit deeper into control. And so this week, spend some time on thoughts. Please, very important, if you can all cut out your little goodie jab like this, okay? So please make sure you can find it and you can get it. Then it's basically, we are going to start saying, so let's say, for example, okay, I'm going to get you a second. You're going to get a second star that you're going to cut out, okay? And you're going to put this star, okay? So this is the one, this star is the first star that's going to be working with ourself, okay, our personal self. The one that we've been speaking about right now is, of course, our thought pattern and what's controlling our thought pattern. So what we will end up doing is, once we put the little star in the middle, all I need to do is I need to take the control button, okay, so the little control signal, and I can put control and say, am I in control of my body, my mind, and my emotions? And I need to answer myself that question. Then I need to say, I know that this family member controls my emotions, okay? Because if I'm always reacting to that particular person, they're in control of my emotions. I'm not in control of my emotions. And so that's what we're going to be looking at. And that's how powerful this little tool is. Eventually, we're going to have 3 stars. We'll have 1 for our leadership. Sorry, you all disappeared. We'll have 1 for our leadership. We're going to have 1 for, what was the other one? Other relationships with people. And then, of course, this one here is the relationship with myself. So that's what we'll be looking at. And at the end of it, we will have a really amazing tool that if I get angry with anybody or upset, I can actually just go and work it out very, very cleverly with this little tool. Anthony, this is Anthony's one. My one, I've got it next to my bed, and we actually work it quite often. When we're frustrated, we send ourselves to the room and we go through the process and say, how do I become a better person? Because it's about, too often we send the wrong person to the room, we send the children to the room, when in actual fact we should send ourselves to the room, because we're the ones with the issue, not the kids. Okay, so guys, I have now got my lights are back again. Thank you for this evening. Thank you for your participation. I shall upload this. So we spoke about thoughts. Let's go back and just have a look at our thought patterns so that we can get ourselves on track. And it's a pleasure, Marine. Awesome to have you around. And then also, behavior never lies. So please observe your children's behaviors. If they're behaving a certain way, we need to find out what it is that they're thinking. Sit down and ask them questions. When we ask questions, it needs to be one of my listening to the answer. It's remember, how many faces do you see? That's, I didn't ask how many faces were in the square or how many faces were in the picture. Okay, so let's go through this week and let's process and let's spend some times with ourselves, and let's see if we too can now, we will find our life purpose. I'll show you how to find your life purpose. We're going to go through that. Okay, and when you find your life purpose and you're striving for excellence, how we all can become people of significance. Okay, thank you for this evening. Exactly 8:30. Until next week, Monday. Have an awesome, it's a pleasure, Liz. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed the session and it gave you something to think about. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Juanita. Cheers, Wilma. Take care, Keith, Olive, Fran, Liz. Cheers, guys.